love LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan, but at times he doesn't, bring it the way we want him to bring it.
Yeah.
Like James Harden. We want James Harden to bring it.
That's
We
very
know
true.
what he can do. We want to see that. We like, come on, James. We need this game. I want to see you take over this game.
Yo, what's the word? Man, yes, you just heard him correctly. Tim Hardaway Sr. just compared LeBron James to James Harden. And man, oh man, it's going to be a special day when LeBron James retire, because every time his summer starts, the media is just throwing his name around left and right. We done had about 19 articles come out ever since the OKC done sent them boys home. And we got a bunch of good series going on right now. So I don't even understand why King James is still the topic of discussion. And we got a few unks who've been coming out lately too, sending shots at him. But are they right though? Hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Let's get into this video.
And I want to ask you, because we've been getting a lot of different opinions of top 5 all time. And I know everyone's list is different.
Oh, God.
I know.
Here
I
we
can already
go.
see by
Look,
your
see,
face.
he's already telling
Stop.
me no.
Hold on. Give me a second. Because just the last 2 guys we interviewed, older gentlemen, they didn't have LeBron James in the top 5, which I think is crazy. But everyone's different. Everyone's list is different. So I got to ask you, give me a top 5. Who's your top 5?
I tell you this, everybody's top 5 is different, and it's no disrespect to LeBron James. LeBron, I'm gonna tell you this, playing at 41 and doing what he's doing at 41 and flying around the court, and he's talking about he was, they made him the third option. He was number 2 option, at times number 1 option. So I mean, what he has done, I mean, it's very, very remarkable. But I mean, you get Michael. I still say Kobe. I still say Magic. And I still say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then you go from there. You got Hakeem Olajuwon. You got Shaquille O'Neal. You can pick whoever you want.
Now the man is absolutely correct. You can choose whoever you want when somebody asks you who is on your top 5. But the opinion should also be substantiated. Now, you can't just name anybody now, but some of the people he named sound biased to me. Now, Shaq, he would have been my GOAT, but his work ethic is what caused him to fall off. And I just can't elevate him above people who actually put in the work. We got to hold him accountable for that. And then how can you name people in your top 5 who played with each other? And most of their success was with each other. Kobe and Shaq, Kareem and Magic. In my opinion, somebody got to be 1A. Especially with the criteria he uses is not adding up. But I'm not mad at the names on the list.
I think these guys, what they talking about, they go by championships. And they go by the killer tenacity that these guys had, like Magic, Michael, Kareem, Kobe. They had killer instinct. They came out and they didn't let their team wilder. They gave their team confidence. And I think at times, LeBron. I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan, but at times he doesn't, bring it the way we want him to bring it.
Yeah.
Like James Harden. We want James Harden to bring it.
That's
We
very
know
true.
what he can do. We want to see that. We like, come on, James. We need this game. I want to see you take over this game. And then sometimes he like, and that's the way we feel with LeBron at times. That's all.
I can't believe Tim just tried to compare LeBron James to James Harden. And James Harden is a hell of an offensive player. I like bro game. I'm not even about to dive into his resume and even make him look bad. I'm going to skip right over that. Now that revisionist history Tim just said out his mouth, with that revisionist history crap, he just said that those players he named never let their team down. So that must mean that they won every year they was in the league, which is incorrect, because MJ had never won a playoff series, and he was 1-9 or 1-10 in playoff games before Pippen even got on the team. You got Kobe, who blew a 3-1 lead when he was the big dog and quit when they was playing Phoenix. And who forgot about Magic when they called him Tragic Johnson? Then you got Shaq, who he also named, who lost in the finals, which was the biggest upset in NBA history, and then bounced around from team to team to team and was just playing nasty hoops. And then you got LeBron, who had a terrible meltdown versus Dallas, and he lost in 6 finals. If anything, Kareem by far has the best resume in terms of basketball, from high school, college, all the way to the big league. If anything, he should be considered the GOAT.
Is it true that you thought that or think that Penny and Grant Hill in their prime were just as good or better than LeBron?
Hell yeah.
Because, by the way, I think you could throw two, like all those guys, and I love those
Look
guys.
how happy Chandler just got.
Penny was one of my GOATs, yeah.
Hey, I tell you, man, I played against Penny. I'm going to tell you, man, if Penny didn't get hurt, him and Michael Jordan would be like 1-2 MVPs in the league. 1-2 MVP in the league. That's how Penny was. Penny could shoot, defend, rebound, pass. He was like Magic, but he could score. You know.
Man, there goes to more revisionist history. He literally just described LeBron when he was trying to speak about Penny. And Penny was great, but he wasn't Bron. Penny came in the league as more of a second option. Bron came in right off the back as a first option and ain't played the back seat until recently. So if Penny was such a great player, when him and Shaq made it to the finals and lost, Penny can't be the GOAT or can never be the GOAT because he 0-1 in the finals. Ain't this what they like to say? You lose in the finals, it hurts your career. So how can he be considered the GOAT ever? And that's what we got to go off of. If that's the case, Paul George could have been the best player ever if he didn't break his leg, because how he was dominating on both sides of the ball. If he would have averaged 33 every year, like, bro, all these ifs and stuff, bro, we cannot do that. It been a lot of talented players who got to the league and had a couple good seasons and phased on out. You just can't give people imaginary years and say what they could have done or would have done, and we ain't see what they did because they wasn't available. We can't claim that as a fact. But one thing about LeBron James, you don't have to guess or imagine what he would have done. You can actually go back and look to this day. And we got to give him his credit because the best ability is availability. And he provided his teams with his presence and dominance. Now, me personally, I couldn't care less on where you have players ranked. Just make sure when you say these people names, it makes sense if you offer to give a criteria. Because I'm going to hold you to that criteria you listed to make sure it match up with those players on your team that you named. Now, let me know down in the comments who y'all got as y'all top 5. Let's see if y'all making sense. Appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and hype button. Catch your next video. I'm out of here.